And we're live.
All right, Chiz leaked this thing. Like, I never watched Smallville. Did you, Taylor?
I know it's the Superman show, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, same. Like it seemed to me like I maybe watched one episode, and the deal, I believe, at least early on in the show, was you had like an undercover Clark Kent who doesn't, he's still living in his in Smallville, Kansas, I think.
He's growing up.
He's growing up, hiding his powers, like adjusting to them. I think they're burgeoning powers, like he's gaining more and more expertise with them and stuff. And it seemed kind of like, I don't know, like a teen, like a Dawson's Creek, but Superman is stuck in there kind of thing. I know later on, like it becomes more of a superhero kind of show. But early on, the episode I saw, I wasn't into it, so I'm not a big expert on it. But apparently, I'm just gonna read the headline: Smallville actor Allison Mack pleads not guilty to sex cult charges. I guess she played Chloe Sullivan in Smallville for 10 seasons. God, went on for 10 years. She's been arrested for her involvement in a sex cult called, I don't know how to pronounce this, Nixivm?
Nixivm.
Nixivm. Terrible branding.
They want to make sure that nobody can Google it unless you know what you're Googling.
It's Nixivm 643.
Yeah, my sex cult has much better branding than this. This is absurd.
Kyle's Gals.
Also known as Nix from Ox.
So here's what just a little bit of details. It says Nixivm, which is reportedly run out of a townhouse in Half Moon, New York, was publicly branded as a self-help group. Rainier, 57, allegedly blackmailed women into becoming sex slaves and branded their skin with his and Mac's initials. Federal authorities said Rainier had a rotating group of 15 to 20 women with whom he maintained sexual relationships. Prosecutors alleged that Mack lured women into a society within Nixivm known as The Vow, which was called a women's mentorship group. She reportedly forced the potential entrants to provide collateral in the form of compromising photos or statements. Mack also reportedly forced the women to have sex with Rainier, who was her own, quote, master.
Damn.
So there you go. It doesn't seem like a wholesome group. I'd give this one 2 thumbs down.
I just assumed that she was like on the edges of it, or also a victim or something. No, she was the key recruiter for the new sex victims.
Yeah,
she was the one bringing girls in and then being like, hey, no, just tell Rainier a story or whatever. And then, we're going to tell him all about the story you just told or the pictures you just divulged. And if not, if you do, we're going to brand you.
Look.
You're a part of the group now.
Not everything is going to be your favorite thing, Taylor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus, Taylor, open your eyes.
God, I feel like such a fool and a bigot.
Now, how do we feel about this? I wish there was a picture of like the cult leader, this gentleman who's like calling the shots, I suppose, because I want to see what the kind of man who gets this this very hot Smallville actress to be his slave, and then says, "I'm going to need you to recruit about 15 more side hoes, get some blackmail information on them, and then work them in on a bi-weekly rotation. I want them coming and going left and right, and you're going to be like the madam of my own personal whorehouse, apparently, where no one gets paid but me." Like, if this guy were a Mormon, it would make sense, because they're raised to do this sort of thing. But good Lord, a Gentile making these kind of moves?
I don't think that Mormons trap you in a sex cult and brand you. Did you
are you familiar with the Church of Latter-day Saints? I think not.
More than you, good sir.
Keith Rainier.
I've lived around those folks, and to my knowledge, I didn't notice any branded women.
Right? That's what always. Every time I see a guy who has, like, I don't know, 3 to 19 sexual, like, active partners going on at one time right now, when they know about each other and stuff, I'm like amazingly impressed, right? Like, so there were, why do I have 19 in my head? Were there 19 women who were like, you know what?
It's between 15 and 20.
Okay. This guy's so awesome. I will settle for 1/18 of him. Right? Is he that incredible? Is he that charismatic and good looking and buff, or whatever it is that a guy provides that gets a girl? This guy is so good at it that he can provide it for 15 to 20 people at a time.
Your question will be answered as soon as you click that Google link to look at Keith Rainier. He's
tasted
got
it.
he's
That's
got a
my link.
Stephen. Oh, I didn't even notice. He's got look at that Stephen King hair.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he
He
looks
looks like
Stephen
a
King.
creep. Like that. I think more of it had to do with all the threats, or not like threats of releasing their info or pictures. You know,
Mhm.
where it
What
was probably not
info?
like, "Oh, Keith, I want you so bad." It was like, "Well, I kind of have to do this now because this tricksy bitch from Smallville, duped me into this, and now he has tons of pictures of me naked and a bunch of criminalizing statements or something."
People will repeatedly fuck you in a sex cult so that their news don't get out?
If you're
I
an
guess
aspiring
so.
young actress, absolutely. Yeah.
Huh. Good to know.
Well, this Allison Mack girl seems like a real bitch.
It seems like she needs a new partner. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, look at
Let's
it.
see.
This is interesting. DOS masters, including the defendant, groomed the slaves for sex with Rainier by requiring them to adhere to extremely restrictive diets and not remove their pubic hair, and by requiring them to remain celibate and not to masturbate. Including they directed their slaves to have sex with him, received financial benefits in the form of continued status and participation in DOS. I don't know what DOS is. I guess that's the group, another word for the Vixen or whatever the fuck, as well as financial opportunities from Rainier. I think he was like, hooking them up with jobs. Citing the severity of the charges, yeah, she could get 15 years minimum if she's convicted. The lady who was like procuring them. I want to see the brands or the tattoos or whatever.
I wonder. Yeah, I'm curious.
I wonder if
I bet they
victims
were really
all
shitty.
victims. Like, were any of them like, I don't know, I get laid on the regular and jobs and
I don't think that's the case.
No?
No, I don't think any of them were like, "Oh, I get laid on the reg from this Stephen King looking motherfucker." Like, no.
Damn, that's bizarre. Sex
How do
cults
you
are odd.
start
It's not
something like that?
Well, let me tell you, Taylor. First, you want to get incorporated. All right, you want to receive full tax benefits from this organization. You don't want to be losing an arm and a leg on your sex cult. All right.
it's
Yeah, of
the
course
trial
not. Yeah.
system. First
I'm
you
following you.
capture them, then someone help me. I ended up this quick. Then you yell at them.
Yell at them.
You capture
Hey, you will fuck me.
capture the youth and then lovingly exploit them.
Ah, thank you, Kyle.
And then
well
you
done.
love them. Yeah. Capture the youth and lovingly exploit them.
Yeah. This is pretty fucked. This is pretty fucked. Chiz pointed out there's a documentary on Netflix right now. What's it called again? With Wild Wild Country. It was one of the biggest sex cults ever, I think. And I just saw like a brief preview. I don't know how many people were in this thing, but I'm gonna guess 500 were in it, and they're all dressed like those Tibetan monks with like the sort of red robes and stuff, and they just moved into this like small Midwestern town or something like that. I've been meaning to watch it. I don't know very much about it, but that stuff, Oregon, from 81 to 85. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I found an article. I'm gonna look at some of this.
And they committed a bioterror attack in 84. I guess that was their downfall, eh?
A bioterror. They couldn't keep it to sex. They had to be terrorists.
We're into polygamy and love and peace and bioterror. What was that last part? But peace? No.
There was one
No,
more.
The bioterror. Oh yes. That's one of the many the things we're into. It's no big deal. We don't focus on the bioterror. It's mostly the love and the peace and the bioterror. Wait, you did it again. What kind of bioterror attack did they like grow?
Because it seems
Smallpox.
like there
Trying
could
to
be a
find it here.
sex cult filled like.
Salmonella.
How is a
They
sex
gave
cult
everyone
so
food
much
poisoning.
different than a swingers club?
Because
Well,
at swingers clubs, you decide to go.
Yeah,
And
the
in a
ladies-
sex cult,
You're blackmailed to stay.
Yeah, you're blackmailed, or they prey upon people's beliefs. There's usually a patriarch who's sort of running the thing, and there'll be
I
like
bet swingers clubs have a hottest guy or
the
something.
guys are not in demand at all at swingers clubs. The way it works is like a single female gets in for free, a couple gets in for like let's say $50 or $100, and there are no single men. Single men aren't allowed to come to these things.
Well, wouldn't the ratio be off then?
That's the idea,
Yeah, there's always going to be more guys than girls.
because lots of
No. If you only allow single girls and couples, then there'll be more girls than
Oh
guys.
yeah, that's why I was saying that single
That
men
is-
aren't allowed. Because if you
that
allowed
is the-
single men, it'd always be a sausage fest.
Yeah, that's the desired ratio, is that there's more ladies than men, because lots of the ladies like to get it on with each other anyway. And oftentimes in a lot of swingers clubs, they're just not a lot of gay men.